Empathy is usually described as one of humanity's greatest strengths. We've been taught that the more empathetic someone is, the kinder, wiser, and more compassionate they'll become. But what if that's only half the story? What if empathy can also make us irrational, biased, and even cruel? That might sound strange, but psychologists have been debating this for years. Here's why. Imagine two strangers competing for the same opportunity. You know almost nothing about either of them. Then you hear one person's heartbreaking story. Maybe they grew up poor. Maybe they suffered abuse. Maybe they're struggling through an incredibly difficult time. Instantly, your brain begins to root for them. Not because you know they're right, but because you feel what they're feeling. That's empathy. And while empathy is incredibly valuable for building relationships, it has one major flaw. It isn't objective. Empathy acts like a spotlight. It shines brightly on one person while leaving everyone else in the dark. When we emotionally connect with one individual, we often become less fair toward everyone else. Psychologist Paul Bloom argues that empathy isn't the same thing as compassion. Compassion means caring about people's well-being. Empathy means feeling another person's emotions. Those aren't always the same thing. In one experiment, researchers asked participants to decide who should receive limited medical resources. People who were encouraged to empathize with one specific patient overwhelmingly favored that patient, even when they knew it meant treating others unfairly. Their emotions overpowered their sense of justice. We see this everywhere, in criminal trials, on social media, even in politics. A compelling personal story can completely change public opinion, sometimes regardless of the facts. Our brains aren't asking, what's true? They're asking, whose pain do I feel? This doesn't mean empathy is bad. Without empathy, relationships would fall apart. Helping others would become much harder. But empathy without critical thinking can become dangerous. It can make us excuse bad behavior, ignore evidence, or unfairly punish people we've never emotionally connected with. Maybe the goal isn't to have less empathy. Maybe it's to balance empathy with reason, to care deeply, without letting emotions become the only judge of what's right. Because sometimes the kindest decisions aren't the easiest to feel.